Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. So everybody's having a great day today. Today is Thursday. At first I didn't have a video topic actually for anybody. I was sitting here thinking, what would I do? And then I was reading through comments and I seen a comment from somebody, a member actually, that said that the goal that I guess he had heard or something that he needed was $5,000 in silver per month for 2 years. And here's the thing. I mean, I hear all these different goals, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And I don't know if goal is the right word because, you know, there's this saying on how much silver do I need? How much should I have? And, you know, we're going to talk about that today. Some people will like my answer. Some people won't like my answer because the truth of the matter is there's not really a firm answer. But we're going to talk about why that is here in just a few minutes. If you guys enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button. It helps me more than you know. If you can, leave me a comment. If you're not subscribed, you can do the ultimate thing for me by just hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out more than you know. And if you want to become a member, we do free members events every month where we give out some free silver. Someone is going to win. It's only $1.99 a month to join, and it helps the channel out. So please, if you'd like to join, it's super easy. You just hit the join button below. With that being said, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so how much silver, how much gold, how much precious metals do you need? So, you know, everybody has a different answer on this, but the truth of the matter is if you really need silver, we're going to say just for a minute that everything is collapsing and the economy is dropping, you've lost your job, you know, and now silver is all you got to fall back on. Here's the thing that you've got to consider. As the economy falls, the price of silver goes up. We've seen that happen more and more in history. However, it doesn't always happen that way for the first month. Why? Because like we've said in videos in the past, a lot of people will be selling paper contracts as the economy starts to fall, and that will drive silver lower. But it doesn't take long before silver has a huge jump. And anybody that doubts that, all they got to do is look at 2008 and then the huge bull run on silver and gold and precious metals that took both silver and gold up to all-time highs at that time. Now, you can expect, in my personal opinion, that if that happened again, it would happen similar to that. We'd see the pullback and then we'd see the huge moonshot. Now, here's another thing that a lot of people aren't factoring in, that your day-to-day expenses right now, you go to work, you spend more. People don't realize you spend money going to work. You know, you're not eating at home. Most people don't take, I mean, when I worked at a big company, I didn't see many people bringing their lunch to work. I seen people either ordering out, I seen people going out to eat, living more of an extravagant lifestyle. Why? Because they have good money coming in. And, you know, if the economy tanks and you lose your job, you're not going to be probably living an extravagant lifestyle. Therefore, you will see your bills get slashed. So coming up with the number is going to come up to how much can you sacrifice when that day comes. I can tell you right now, if I was in a situation like that where everything started collapsing, I would be canceling stuff. I'd be canceling maybe my high-speed internet. I'd cancel cable if I didn't already cancel it. I live my life in an extreme frugal lifestyle. I left a comment for the person explaining, you know, even my power bill. So my power bill, if I had my AC up and running for my whole house, it'd be $350 a month. I live in South Texas. It was 105 degrees the other day. Think about that for a minute. How do I get around it? I got a $54 power bill. Well, what makes it so low? Well, the fact that I section off my whole house is not AC'd. Why? I don't need my whole house. This time of the year, I am perfectly fine. If I'm going to sleep, I need AC. And that's it when I go to bed. So part of my house with AC is just fine for me. It's not normal, I know. It's not normal at all. I barbecue outside. I do things. During the Great Depression, people were willing to cut things out to survive. And the same thing would happen to today. Yeah, people don't realize that, but if that happened, you would cut cost. Maybe you're driving 2 vehicles. You know what? Your family wouldn't need 2 vehicles. Sell one. At that point, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of money if everything collapses. I mean, but there will be people out there like me who wants a newer vehicle. But right now, I don't want to pay for it. Why? Because I think right now, still the economy hasn't tanked enough to where I want to break down and spend the money on a newer vehicle. Would it have to be new? No, but I would like a vehicle that has everything in working condition, you know, and a lot of people don't think of that. And then another thing is, how much are you going to be driving? You know, you ain't going to be driving all the way to work. Maybe you work a half hour. Maybe you spend $50 to $100 on gas a week. You wouldn't need to do that because you'd probably be out of work in that type of situation. So the questions that come up of how much silver, how much gold do I need, it's almost impossible for anybody to give a correct ounce count. I mean, yeah, people will put numbers out there. This person had heard something, I guess, of $5,000 a month. I don't spend $5,000 a month unless you're spending in a absolute worst case scenario. If you had to put a number on it, in my personal opinion, you could take your work, how much your bills, how much are all your bills that you have right now, what you spend, your expenditures on a monthly basis, and then take that number and divide it by current spot price. And that's going to give you a number. That would be X amount of silver. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that silver is right now, we'll say $30 for instance, just for easy math. And let's say that you spend $3,000 a month on your bills from day to day. You know, okay, if I sold my silver off, I got $30, let's say an ounce. I'm sure you're going to get spot price. That's usually what I factor all my stuff off. I know I could sell anything I want at spot price right this minute, and I would have no trouble at all. So you look at it, okay, then you would need 100 ounces. So you need to spend $3,000. We're going to divide it by the spot price at 30. That's 100 ounces. Okay, you need 100 ounces. How long? Well, now this comes into another factor. How long will stuff last? Because you got to understand, the U.S. is going to be frantically doing whatever it has to do to try to prop up the currency. And there's a lot of things they can do that they don't want to do. You know, like all of a sudden, if tomorrow, you know, we started mass producing oil here in the United States. I mean, we've got the oil. You look at areas like Eagle Ford Shale in South Texas or West Texas, you know, there's a lot of oil. And it's not just there. You've got oil and gas in multiple places. I think Pennsylvania has a big cache of it. New Mexico, Arizona, all that area has it. Alaska, you know, people are still going to buy. People are still going to need oil. They're still going to need to transport stuff around the world. But spending, how much money you spend, you know, it's going to get cut. But that's why I said at a worst case scenario, use today's bills and factor it like that. But I'm not convinced even at that. You would cut your bills in half. Now, let's focus on the necessities. You have a house payment. Okay, you're going to still have a house payment. There's no way around that unless you're going to get foreclosed on. But that would be, in my opinion, the absolute worst thing, because I believe that it is cheaper to own a home than rent a home. And you actually have something. I bought the house that I live in 2005. I paid $85,000 roughly for it. You know, if I had rented, I would have been renting for all that time. But realistically, it doesn't make sense to rent. I understand a lot of people are in a hard spot right now, and they have to rent because they can't afford to buy with these insane interest rates. And even with the interest rates, if the interest rates come down, the price of the house is just going to go up. We live in a crazy time where it is getting super difficult for people just to survive and make ends meet. It's getting harder and harder for people to stack gold and silver. Why? Because the price of everything are going up. Now, could that change? I mean, there's a few things that could change it, but is government going to do what it takes to stop that? They're going to have to cut spending. They're going to have to reduce entitlement benefits, a lot of different things, and they're going to have to up their GDP output, which means they're going to have to produce more of something or get people to produce more of something. So with that being said, I know someone out there is going to be like, dude, you didn't even say the number. But in a way, I believe at a worst case scenario, if you had to hold me to it by putting an actual physical number, you can take your bills, like I said, current bills, and factor that out and then use today's spot price and divide your bills by today's spot price. But even that, like I said, the spot price is not going to be what it is today. I think the spot price can be a lot higher. Let's say, for instance, people all of a sudden start dumping the stock market, and because they know that the economy is slowing, and it is slowing now, but all of a sudden they've got to find ways to save money. They're going to lay off people. They're going to cut the stock market. They're going to lower their production output, whatever they produce, whether it's steel beams, whether it's bricks, it doesn't matter. Whatever they make, they're going to make less of it. That means they're going to have less profits. And rich people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, you know what? I want to get out now. I want to put my money where it's not going to be just stagnant. And they're going to look for assets, and they're going to eventually move into gold and silver. Now, a lot of eyes today are going to be on the CPI numbers. The big question, is inflation still going up? Is it still coming down? All that is going to have a direct reflection on what's going to happen with the interest rates in September. And that's going to play a huge factor today. So I'm really excited to be watching that. I should have even started the video talking about that, because if they announce that inflation is gone or it's going away because it's lower and lower and lower, you can expect that we're going to see interest rate cuts. And interest rate cuts, like I've said in multiple videos, promotes, I'll say, gambling. It promotes free money, essentially. If you can borrow money on the cheap, you can take that money and invest it. I had someone tell me today, hey, you got approved for that 0% credit card. I started talking to a company because I had seen an ad online, and it's a company I already deal with. And they said, yeah, they're giving out interest-free credit for 18 months if you qualify. And I was like, 18 months? Where do you think the silver price is going to be in 18 months? And the person said, have you thought about buying some gold and silver and just put it on the credit card at 0% interest? I said, I have thought of that. It's not a recommended strategy, but where is the price of gold and silver going to be in 18 months from now? Especially if you can borrow at 0%. There's a chance that we could see another 50% jump in the price of gold over the next 18 months. I think it's even going to be bigger than that, but anything's possible. Now, someone out there is going to be like, that is a horrible strategy. I would not buy gold or silver with debt. You could end up losing everything. The question that I ask myself is, where is gold and silver going to be? I'm not convinced that gold and silver is going to be lower than it is today. I'm really not. Too many things I've seen go up. I actually had someone helps me out finding the best power rates, I guess you can say. And the power rate that she had found for me, she asked if I wanted to lock it in. You want to lock that price in? You're not going to get it any cheaper, T. And I said, no, I don't want to lock in because I want to travel the world. I want to, get out of here. I want to move. Put me down for 1 year. Lock me in for 1 year, and I'll take care of that. And then afterwards, the year came, and it actually just came to an end like a month ago. And now the price is like 40% higher. And I'm like, what in the world? And that's what she told me. She said, you didn't want to lock in. And I told you to lock in. She actually locked in her power for like 4 years. And it's a smart move. You lock in for 4 years. If it's cheap, who knows how things are going to be. I mean, I really didn't think that power would keep going up. And I made the mistake of it running out in the summer when prices on electricity are obviously higher in the summer. So prices are going to keep going up, including gold and silver. A lot of people have this doubt that, you know, gold has hit an all-time high and it's going to plunge down. It's going to take silver with it. You know, it blows my mind when I hear some of these things, but they're out there. People are talking about it. Back to the would you buy on credit. I mean, it's not a recommended strategy. You should never buy something on credit that could come down in value. But the truth of the matter is they tell you that when it comes to precious metals. They don't tell you that when it comes to a car. You buy a new car off the lot and buy it 0% interest for 18 months. Think about that for a minute. A car is guaranteed it's going to come down in value in the first year. It's going to come down in value the moment you drive it off the lot. Oh, well, how about if you buy a new TV or some cool stuff? There again, that stuff just going to end up in a landfill at some point. If I was going to buy anything on credit of value, why not put it into gold and silver? It's only gone up for me, and it's only going to go up higher. And this way I get to buy tomorrow's overpriced, and I shouldn't say overpriced because, I mean, it is a super fair price right now, and even if it goes to $30, $40, or $50, I'm still going to say it's a good deal, especially if the charts are showing like they're showing now. So with that being said, that's what I wanted to talk about today. The whole, you know, how much do you need to survive when stuff starts collapsing? Keep in mind, the U.S. is going to be battling just like they did during the 2008 housing crisis, just like they did during the dot-com bubble. Do I think a day is going to come where there's nothing they can do? It's going to lose its purchasing power. I think the dollar will lose its purchasing power, but I think it's going to be a slow road still. I mean, a 50% cut does not mean your dollar's worthless. It just means it's worth less than it was today, but not worthless altogether. And it's a slow erosion. It just happens to be speeding up little by little, a little more, a little more, a little more. Before, they only did 2% theft. That was their goal. Now, they say their goal is 2% theft still, or 2% inflation, which is supposedly good for the economy, wink, wink, if you believe that nonsense. I don't know how they can come up with higher prices is good for the economy, but people believe it. And as long as they believe the nonsense, then it perpetuates the system even more. Anytime you're losing a percent of your money to higher prices, that's a bad thing. Why would you not want the prices of everything just to stay the same forever? And then your savings account would stay the same. Your wealth would be the same, and so on and so on. Well, they don't want that to happen because they want to steal your wealth at 2% a year. You know, if they wanted that, it wouldn't take much to do that. All they'd have to do is put the whole system back on gold and silver, and you wouldn't really see any drastic things happening with the money. A lot of people say, oh no, it was gold and silver's fault from the 1929 crash. No, it wasn't. It was the fact that people were so over leveraged, and that's where we're at today. Oh, well, the 2008 housing crisis, we were over leveraged. The dot-com bubble, again, over leveraged. People want to buy and buy and borrow and buy and borrow and buy. And it's great if you're getting in early, but eventually it all comes crashing down. And what you buy makes a big difference. If you're buying speculative assets, I don't consider gold and silver speculative, but some people will. And that's an opinion. Some people will say Bitcoin is, Bitcoin isn't. I'm not a huge fan of Bitcoin. I've said that time and time again. I think it's overpriced. I think the technology is good. Blockchain will be here forever. It's going to be here. But a new coin could take out an old coin in a minute. If all of a sudden the Fed says, hey, we're going to launch a new cryptocurrency and it's going to be Fed coin, that's it. And that's the only coin you can use. A lot of coins will take hits, and you'll see Fed coin really rise to the surface real quick because people want to get into it quick. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up the video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you hit the thumbs up. Like I said, if you'd like to become a member, it's only $1.99. But if you don't want to, I still thank you for watching, subscribing, and hitting that thumbs up. You know that. Just subscribing to the channel. It's free and it helps me out more than you know. We're trying to grow the channel. So please take a minute, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys all again tomorrow. I can't wait to see how the CPI numbers come out today. If anybody wants to put their guess in, I'd love to hear it. So take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye.